Hello everyone. Dear students, I have come here before you to discuss about the first lesson of your textbook, that is The Gentleman of the Jungle, written by Jomo Kenyatta. You just look at the title here, The Gentleman of a Jungle. So before going to know about the title, we should know about the author first. So a short note about him at the end of a lesson is there. So you just open page number 6 and look at the note on the author here, Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta was born in 1893 and the community members are not very sure about his date of birth. It is just that is an approximation or it is just a guess. So dear students, here he was born in 1893 and died in 1978. Was an African political leader. He was not only an English writer but also he is an African political leader. First president of Kenya in the period of 1964 to 1978. He was a first president of Kenya. And he belongs to a Kikuyu. It is the name of a tribal group, a tribal community. He was one of the earliest and best known African nationalist leaders. So although he belongs to an African community called Kikuyu, it is the name of an African community. He was one of the earliest and best known African nationalist leaders. And also, as the secretary of his tribal association, what is the name of a tribal community he belongs to? He belongs to the tribal community called Kikuyu. Although, as the secretary of his tribal commission in 1928, and he campaigned for land reform and African political rights. So this story written by Jomo Kenyatta, it is automatically we can guess that this story carries some political ideas. It carries some political ideas, so the story conveys some political ideas. However, the story does not convey the political ideas directly but indirectly. So, dear students, just look at the title here, just look at the background of the story, or just look at the picture they have given here, or even before that, look at the title of the story. Now, what do you mean by, what is the title? The Gentleman of the Jungle. Here, what does the title mean, the Gentleman of the Jungle? Whom do we call a gentleman? A person who is decent and dignified, whose words are polite, who is well-mannered and well-dressed. We call such a man a gentleman. However, we can see the gentleman in cities or in urban areas, not in the jungle. The story has a title that is The Gentleman of the Jungle. Jungle means the forest. The Gentleman of the Forest. We do not see the gentleman in the forest. We can see the gentleman only in the advanced areas. So, dear students, now what does the title tell us? The Gentleman of the Jungle tell us about what? Here, in order to know that, we should read the story. Just look at the title and the picture here, The Gentleman of the Jungle, and what they have given in the picture here. There is you just look into the picture. There is a hut. Inside the hut, there is an elephant. Inside that, there is an elephant, and outside the hut, we can see a hut. Outside the hut, we can see the animals here. We can see a lion, leopard, buffalo, and a hyena outside that, and the top of the hut we can see a crocodile here. So here the animals they have given here but not the gentleman. Where is the gentleman? So, dear students, you have to understand that there they have given the animals. These animals are the gentlemen here. According to the author Jomo Kenyatta, these animals are the gentlemen. Gentleman means the tiger. Example: the tiger walking alone in the forest. It is look like a gentle in distance. The lion walking in the forest alone, it look like what? It look like a gentle in distance. An elephant walking in the forest alone, it look like what? It look like gentle in distance, but they are not gentlemen. They are what? They are very dangerous wild animals. They could attack everyone. So here you just look at the background. So that is why Jomo Kenyatta indirectly says that the Western advanced countries of the West, they are also called as the gentlemen of the jungle. Why? Because they are well dressed, very polite in their words, well mannered, and but they are actually very dangerous. They are dangerous to the poorer countries like Africa, Asia, etc. So in the background, we can see that, just look into the background of the lesson here. In the late 19th century, the chief European powers divided Africa among themselves. So here, in the late 19th century, here the European powers means superior countries, they have divided Africa among themselves. Here, European powers means advanced countries, they have established their control over these poorer countries. They used them, either they ruled them, but they took all the benefits from these countries and they exploited these countries. They took all the advantages from these countries by dividing among themselves. So in the same way, in the late 19th century, the chief European powers divided Africa among themselves. They could do this because European arms were very superior, and because the African chiefs did not understand the meaning of treaties they were asked to sign. As the Britishers ruled over India. So ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ವಿಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಆಳಿದರು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ ಅಮಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾವನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ವಿಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ದೇಶವನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣಕ್ಕೆ, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಕುಡ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್, ಅವರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ವೆರಿ ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್. ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ಅವರ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಹಳ ಉನ್ನತವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ the African chiefs and also the African chiefs did not understand the meaning of treaties. What do you mean by the treaties? Treaties means agreement. So ಒಪ್ಪಂದಗಳು ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ African chiefs that could not understand. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೀಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್? ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸೈನ್. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಸಹಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು, ಆ ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಏನು ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಅರಿವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್, ದ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲಿ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಫಲವಾಗಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ದ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಂತ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್, ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಂತ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ ಜನರು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಲಿವ್ಡ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲಿ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್. ತಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವಜರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. Their attitude toward European expansion is made clear in the following fable. So here, the attitude toward European expansion, what was that expansion? It is just enlarging their country, enlarging their land towards the poorer countries. So here, their attitude toward European expansion is made clear in this following fable. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕತೆ fable means what? Fable refers to a short story or a moral story carrying a message. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು, ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕತೆ, ನೀತಿ ಕತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮಾರಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. ಒಂದು ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದು ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕ್ಯಾರೀಸ್ ಅ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ which reflects the attitude of Kikuyu people of Kenya toward European laws and commissions. At last, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರನ್ನ ಒಡೆದು ಓಡಿಸಲು ಭಾರತದ ಜನರು, ಸೊ ಅವರನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ restrictions. In the same way, here Kikuyu people showing their attitude towards European laws and commissions here. So it is like just like fable. Fable means a short story. I have already told you it carries a message, and it is just like ಪಂಚತಂತ್ರ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಓದಿರಬಹುದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಮೋ ಕೆನಟ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. He says indirectly about what? About the western advanced countries of west, and also they called as gentlemen. They are very dangerous. Like this here Yomo Kirata says in this story. Just let us come to the text here. Just look into your textbook. Once upon a time, an elephant made a friendship with a man. One day, a heavy thunderstorm broke out. The elephant went to his friend, who had a little hut at the edge of the forest, and said to him, "My dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut to keep it out of this torrential rain?" So here, once upon a time, so all the moral stories begin with these lines. Similarly, this story also begins with this line. What was that line? Once upon a time. ಒಂದಾನೊಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್, ನೀತಿ ಕಥೆಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನೀತಿ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಸಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯದ ಮುಖಾಂತರವೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತವೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಅ ಟೈಮ್ an elephant made a friendship with a man. ಸೊ ಒಂದಾನೊಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆನೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನೊಡನೆ ಗೆಳೆತನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. One day, a heavy thunderstorm broke out. Broke out means started. Heavy thunderstorm means what? Thunderstorm means heavy rain accompanied with wind, thunder, and lightning. So, thunderstorm means it is what? It is a heavy rain accompanied with wind, thunder, and lightning. ಸೊ ಎಂತಹ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಗುಡುಗು ಸಿಡಿಲು ಸಹಿತವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಗಾಳಿ ಮಳೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಡೇ a heavy thunderstorm broke out. The elephant went to his friend. Who is his friend? Man. His elephant's friend is a man. An elephant went to his friend and who had a little hut at the edge of the forest. The man had a little hut. Hut means here a simply built house. So here one day elephant went to his friend who had a little hut at the edge of the forest. Where was a man's hut? Here at the edge of the forest, and said to him, "My dear good elephant, my dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut to keep it out of the torrential rain?" So here what was elephant says to the man here, "Oh my dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut?" Why? Because there is a thunderstorm, there is a heavy rain, there was a heavy rain, so that is why The elephant went to his friend man and asked him to put its trunk. Very politely asked to the man, "How, my dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut to keep it out of this torrential rain?" Here, trunk means what? Trunk means the long nose of the elephant. ಸೊಂಡಿಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್, ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸೊಂಡಿಲನ್ನ ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಳೆಯಿಂದ, ತುಂಬಾ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಟರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ರೈನ್, ಆ ಒಂದು ಗುಡುಗು ಮಳೆ ಸಹಿತವಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಗುಡುಗು ಸಿಡಿಲು ಸಹಿತವಾದಂತ ಮಳೆಯಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ಸೊಂಡಿಲನ್ನ ರಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಅದೇನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ, ತನ್ನ ಸೊಂಡಿಲನ್ನ ನಿನ್ನ ಗುಡಿಸಲಿನ ಒಳಗೆ ಇಡಬಹುದಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯನನ್ನ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್? ಸೊ ದ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ is very big. So what was the hut here? It is very small hut of a man. What was the reply of a man? We can see the reply of a man in the next class. Dear students, we can see the reply. What was the reply given by the man? We can see the reply in the next session. Thank you.